Learn to Fly is a Flash game I remember very well from my childhood. I don't remember exactly what website it was on, but I'm willing to bet it was probably either Armor Games or Miniclips. Either way, I realized as I was looking through my Steam games at what to play that I never 100%ed the Steam version of Learn to Fly 3. So I decided to do some Steam cleaning to finish it up. In total, I had 9 achievements left in the game, 2 tied to beating 4 million altitude story mode, 1 tied to beating story mode in 6 days, which I can do on any altitude, 2 achievements earned from reaching higher altitudes that are past the story mode limit, those being 5 million and 10 million altitude, 1 for beating classic mode, which was basically Learn to Fly 1 or 2 game mode, another for hitting 30 obstacles in a single flight, as well as 1 for buying 200 items from the black market, I believe, and the final one for completing all 82 medal challenges in the game. Luckily, I already had 68 of them, and 8 of the remaining ones are tied to these other achievements. Firstly, I decided to start with beating the game in classic mode because I don't need any extra things that I might not have unlocked from the black market for this. As I said earlier, this game mode is based around the gameplay of Learn to Fly 1 and 3, so basically instead of going up, we're going sideways. On day 1, I started with $50 and opted to buy the glider and coil since the coil should give me the height I need to take off and the glider should carry me far enough that I should be alright for a while. I stuck with this plan for a while, reaching max coil and max glider on day 10. On day 11, I started my next objective of buying and maxing out all my boost slots with multi-rockets. This should allow me to propel myself far forwards, leading to a lot farther of distances traveled each day I upgrade one. Thing is, I forgot how to boost for a second on my first attempt and almost failed my first attempt. However, after that, all was smooth sailing. Day 24, I fully upgraded my multi-rockets and started working on getting stages. For this, I decided to go with the Sonic Drive since it should give me enough force to propel me past the 100k mark that I was currently stuck at. Before fully upgrading my Sonic Drives, however, I decided I needed a new body on day 25 since I thought my overall top speed was enough and I was getting capped too quickly. When I knew I could go much farther with that, I had. So I sold the glider and proceeded to buy a space shuttle, which brought my top speed up to 20 at base upgrade and opened another boost slot for me right off the bat. I also sold my coil to buy a nuclear reactor because science. The following day I got rid of my multi-rockets in favor for the F1 belt nozzles, seeing as they were the higher tier rockets in hope of this sending me farther. I also managed to max out my space shuttle from all the money I got from selling my multi-rockets, which unlocked the 4th slot for another F1. Day 27, I swapped out my Sonic Drive for shuttle reactors and filled all my stages with those. Day 31, I officially made it to the halfway point of classic mode, and hopefully soon I'll make it there as I only need to upgrade my base equipment now. And finally, on day 35, I beat classic. Doing so unlocked the achievement as well as one of the remaining medals in this nice cutscene. The next achievements I took on were the 4 million altitude ones. For this, I was required to beat 4 million altitude once as well as beat it in 13 days. Luckily, I had looked up a couple guides for this so I could do it without certain powers, but I was still nervous. I don't really want to bore you with the nitty gritty of it, but basically I had to micromanage how much money I made between each day to buy specific upgrades. So by day 11 I could reach 4 million altitude. But just to show you guys, here's the end of the run. After the 4 million altitude playthrough, I decided to take a nice break in the game mode I could just goof around in, so I booted up the lowest altitude story mode and proceeded to beat it in 6 days with all the black market upgrades I had at this point from years of playing. After that, I proceeded to hop back onto the 6 days playthrough save, and I got the achievement for hitting 30 obstacles in one flight, which is surprisingly hard. You have to purposely guide your ship into a lot of things. After that, I ended up just going into the black market to spend all my sardines in BP for new upgrades and other items I didn't have at the time, so I could take on the monumental task of reaching 10 million altitude. While doing this, I ended up popping the 200 items bot achievement, and I was ready for the final task. Finally, I went back into 4 million altitude save and proceeded to abort a whole bunch of days to grind up enough money to construct a build that would get me to 10 million altitude. Once I had finally reached that, the 3 remaining achievements popped as the medals had been acquired as I had done all the achievements that I needed to do. So now that I 100%ed Learn to Fly 3, I could put my nostalgia of my past off to the side and put the game in my 100%ed shelf as I continue to do more Steam cleaning.